Good morning, freshman seminar, or good afternoon, depending on when you are viewing this video. Today we have the mobile lab and we are working on adding colleges to our lists and then actually completing a college search. So as long as you know your password and you successfully logged in, I'm logged in as Martyr. Right now you can see that I've assigned 2 tasks to you, and that is to add colleges to your list and to also complete a college SuperMatch college search. So the first task is to add a college to your list. You have not added any, and so we want to add at least 1 college. Just for this purpose, I'm going to do Ohio State. So I'm going to search for that college, and I'm going to add that college to my list. A lot of colleges, especially big ones, so like UT, University of California, these different colleges, they have different locations. So you want to make sure that you are picking the main campus location unless you want it to be in a different city. So I'll pick Ohio State because that's the one I want to add that to my list. So I know that it's been added because now it's giving me the choice of removing it. So just to go back to that main page, you saw that I had a task here and I've completed that task. So it now shows it I completed that task. If I wanted, of course, I could add my top 3. Your homework was to think of your top 3. So you're able to do that if you want to. Now I want to complete the search. So I added the college, but I want to actually complete the search to get more information about my school. So this is the main page that we're going to spend the bulk of our time looking into. Whatever our top choice was, looking into that top choice. This is SuperMatch. This is our search engine. We're going to sort of toggle between SuperMatch as well as College Board. So I'll explain. It's just collegeboard.org. And we're going to use both of those because I like certain aspects of College Board and like certain aspects of the SuperMatch. So I've already picked Ohio State. Again, I want to make sure that it's the main campus. And I could pin it just so that would be one of my top choices. I'm not going to pin it since I'm just doing this as an example. More information. It just gives me a little bit. I want a lot more information because we've highlighted a couple of things that are very important. Cost of attendance, surrounding area, admissions, campus demographics and environment, recreational activities, social activities, and student support. So class time today and tomorrow is going to be spent figuring out more information about this college to make sure that it's right for me, specifically about that criteria. And if you were to come up with any more, of course, feel free to look up more. Make sure that you at least at the bare minimum looked up what I've highlighted to you. You've received this handout, so you'll be filling out information. I know that it's sort of small, so feel free to use a sheet of loose leaf, write in both boxes, but this is the bulk of our search. And if you choose to come with anything else, definitely feel free to research more in depth on Tuesday. All right, so for today, let's start with cost of attendance. Cost of attendance has to do with money, so of course I'm going to click on the financial aid tab to find out how much it costs to attend The Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio. One thing that you're going to want to pay attention to, especially if you are choosing a college that is outside of Texas, is the out-of-state tuition compared to the in-state tuition. And so tuition, if you are from the state of Ohio, it costs less to attend than if you are from outside of the state of Ohio. You also want to pay attention to room and board. Room and board, that means your dorm, where you stay. The dormitory has a separate payment from the actual tuition. So you pay tuition to go to class, you pay a different amount to live on campus, and they estimate how much books could cost. That is going to vary. You can add that to your paper as you write it down if you would like, but that's just an estimation. But we do want to add room and board because most colleges require freshmen to live on campus. Now this $10,000 can disappear as you grow older. If you decide to move off campus, that would instead, you're spending X amount of money on rent instead of sending it directly to the school and paying the school. Okay, now that I know how much it costs to attend Ohio State, I'm interested in knowing what the city of Columbus has to offer. What does it look like? When I click on general info, it tells me that Columbus is a large city. This doesn't tell me very much information. Now, this is where I'm going to want to go to College Board because it gives us a little bit more information on this first page. So, at a glance, this is the home page of College Board. It tells me that, first of all, it's a large institution, so we know the institution itself is large, but it's also located in a very large city in an urban setting, and it's primarily a residential campus. That means that most people are able to live on campus. People also commute. So if you, for example, chose to stay in Houston and go to University of Houston, you can live at home with your parents. You don't have to pay room and board. You would be considered a commuter rather than a residential student. There's a little bit of information on College Board in that when I click on campus life, again, it tells me very large city, urban setting, and it tells me that the campus is only 2 minutes from downtown. So that's cool. There's not that much information though. So what I would recommend is to continue looking at the rest of the criteria, such as admissions and student support. And when we have more time tomorrow, to spend a little bit more time, perhaps just Googling, finding out more about the city. So Columbus, when I just Google Columbus, Ohio, it has a population of 800,000 people. So you know that that's a large city. We can maybe go to experiencecolumbus.com, find out more about it. Not today. That would be something that I would find out more about tomorrow. Also, I found this moveto.com, things to consider before moving to Columbus. This is a search that when we have extra time tomorrow, that's something that maybe you could do. Look into more about the city of Columbus. It just tells you all these nice things to check out and see. So that's just something to keep in mind. I'm going to go to the next criteria. The next criteria being admission. So there's a tab on SuperMatch for admissions. So I'm going to click on admissions. I'm going to use both SuperMatch and College Board. I'm going to start on SuperMatch. So we see that they require the ACT or the SAT. They accept both. When I applied as a freshman in 2006, I took the ACT. You can see here, looking at some average test scores. So some of the highest, some of the lowest, and then the average of what they accepted. It's also important, you may want to take a look at the amount of applications that they received. 26,000 applications. They accepted 16,000 students, and then the actual enrollment was 6,000. So when you are considering, do I want to go here? Do I want to be a part of a large freshman class of about 6,000 people? What do I have to do? Do I have to write an essay? Do I have to take the SAT? Do I need recommendations? You can also look on College Board under applying. And again, they have about the same 25,000, 16,000. So they're giving you that same. I kind of like how it looks better on here. And again, they'll break down what's important, what's required, SAT and ACT scores, giving you that mid-range average, on average. They're not going to tell you this is the exact score that you must have. Both websites are just going to tell you on average, this is what you need. Campus demographics I like the best on College Board because I like a visual representation of campus demographics. So the way that I got here, campus life, student body. And it gives me a great visual representation. Now, something that you want to consider depending on what school that you want to go to. Notice 74% white, only 3% Hispanic Latino, and 6% Black. You can also look at in and out of state and the male to female ratio. So you have to take into consideration the place that you're going and what sort of ethnic makeup this campus will have. Let's take a look at Texas A&M. So Texas A&M, because it is in the state of Texas, it's still largely white, as most institutions are going to be 69% white. But notice, because we're in Texas, 18% Hispanic Latino compared to that 3% that we saw at Ohio State. Still lower African American rate and a lower Asian rate. If we take a look at UCLA, very, very different, extremely diverse, ethnically diverse, 30% white, 32% Asian, which you're not going to find at most schools, 18% Hispanic, 3% Black. So it's much more diverse. It still has a small Black population, but these are all things that we want to consider when we think about the college that we want to go to. Campus demographics. So recreation and social activities, that's separate, but I'll kind of talk about them both at the same time. The student life tab on SuperMatch will tell you Ohio State has 1,000 student organizations. So it'll give you the number. It'll say yes, no. Like, yes, we have academic clubs. Yes, we have academic sororities and fraternities, as well as social fraternities and sororities. We have a band. We have an orchestra. So this is cool. I sort of prefer, like I said before, visually. So I prefer this on College Board just because I kind of like to see this more. I know that they have intramurals. I also know that they have an actual team, Division I sports, NCAA Division I. Some schools don't have that, so you may want to check and see, like, do they actually have Division I sports, as well as do they have club sports. So I'm not going here for a scholarship to play hockey, but like I would just like to play hockey, or I would like to play soccer, and there are club sports that I can play. On the other hand, I also want to know that there are recreational activities. And so again, I think at the bottom, the intramural sports, these are all the club and intramural sports that they have. You can also look on the main campus website to see if they have a student center, if they have a, pools and gyms and all that, those different types of things. So I can tell you this just off the top of my head, but of course for other colleges, we need to find out. We can go to the main website, so osu.edu, click on athletics, go to rec facilities. Ohio State has a ton of facilities for students. So you can see over here, we have Jesse Owens North, South, and West. We have an outdoor adventure center, RPAC. This is the main place where we go to work out. It's huge. It has a basketball court. I can click on it and it'll give you more information about that. So it has a pool. It has a basketball court. This is of interest to you if you want to know, if I go to this school, will I be able to do things outside of just the academics? So I want to know about their fitness and wellness programs. I was able to go see a nutritionist at Ohio State for free. They have yoga classes. They have massage therapy. There's outdoors or indoors, like all these different things that they offer. Now, again, this may be something that we want to get more into on Tuesday, and just start off with today by saying, yes, they have sports, or yes, they have, facilities, and then looking more into those facilities on Tuesday. Now, last but not least, this is important. Again, back to student life, student support. So knowing whether or not this campus has special services. So do they have services that will help me find a job? Will they help me write a resume? Do they have, if I need to talk to a psychologist, do they have these things? Do they have special services for students with special needs? Both websites, that just showed you on there, but also College Board. Here we have a tab, Campus Life, Student Support Service, and it will just list. They do have career counseling. They have alcohol substance abuse counseling because that is needed sometimes. They have daycare if that's necessary. So it's important to know, as well as tutoring, when I need help, are there places for me to go? A writing center, and I used that while I was a student. Tutoring, I used that while I was a student. So we want to know that they have those things. Before I sign away 4 years of my life, I want to know what this school has to offer. So today, you will figure out your top choice. You will use College Board, you will use SuperMatch to determine if this is a place where you really want to go, and if this is a place where you really should go. And we'll take some time tomorrow also to look at whether or not this school offers your specific major. So that is something that we will look more into tomorrow.